This mic's driving me nuts.
All right, we're recording here. Everything's ready to go.
Whoa, why are we like extreme close up there?
Because here we go. What's up, y'all? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Tina and Anderson Show. This is episode 16.
Yeesh.
If you are still with us since episode 1, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for hanging around.
So we were just a married couple. We talk about marriage, parenting, life, family, and we speak against feminism and the red pill. Mm-hmm. Because we believe traditional marriage is the best way to live your marriage. Mm-hmm. So this is my wife, Tina. Period. I am Anderson. We've been married for 22 years this year. It'll be 22 years this year. So today's episode 16, and we're going to be going through a couple of TikTok videos and a Reddit story, talk about that. Pretty much kind of like a basic format that we always do. So, we are doing this on a late Saturday night, just after we had a date night. We went out to dinner, and then we did a little bit of grocery shopping.
that was date night. Date night was dinner and stop and shop.
I wanted to go and get something at Home Depot, but
that would have been even more romantic.
She wanted to go to Stop and Shop instead, so of course
we had to.
I had to relent.
Mm-hmm. We had to. Priorities, honey. Yeah. Priorities.
We went to Stop and Shop instead of Home Depot. Still a good date night.
That was a date
We
night.
actually literally it's been a while since we went out. Like the last time we went out to eat together was breakfast. So for dinner, it's been a while and we literally stuffed ourselves. Just because it's been so long.
We were like, appetizer, right? Yeah.
It's worse for me because I had 2 weeks off of not working out, because I wanted to take 1 week off, and then it ended up being 2 weeks.
It ended up being 2.
So I started working out again this week, and then I did this. I was like, what am I doing to myself, man?
Well, we also do very low, almost no carb all week. So then on the weekend, I'm like,
we definitely carbed it up, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we carbed it up. We carved it up real good. Today,
so.
Real good.
But back to eating better and fasting and all of that. Mm-hmm. And
we got to order us another cow, man.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we order a quarter cow, and we
local farm, super local, down the street local. Yeah.
So we've been trying to do just a high protein diet, and to get slim. For me, anyways.
You trying to get all cut and swole?
Yeah.
Just trying to get all swole.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. So we're also happy it's getting warmer. I'm sure you guys are too.
It's funny because warmer right now is 50 degrees.
Yeah.
But if this was summertime and we had a 50-degree day, we would all be freezing our butts off. We'd be complaining that it was too cold.
Right.
But 50 degrees now is oh my God. I went out in my T-shirt.
It's T-shirt weather.
Yeah, it's T-shirt weather.
I mean, this is New England weather. I don't know if there's anybody outside of New England watching us. If you are, then this is how it is out here, up here in New England weather. All right, so why don't we just get into it? We're gonna get into the first TikTok video. It's pretty much a guy that stitched a woman.
Guy that stitched a woman.
For you guys don't know what stitch is like
the reaction.
It's like a video of reaction of another video.
Mm-hmm. So we are reacting to a reaction of a video.
So we're going to hear what she says, and we're going to hear what he says. And I think we're probably going to agree more with what he says. So here we go.
Marriage isn't hard. If someone's telling you marriage is hard, it's because they're married to the wrong person.
It is hard, and it's not because you're married to the wrong person. It's because God designed marriage to be sanctifying, and sanctification is hard. your sin is going to rub up against the person you're with, and it's going to expose idols that you really care about and love more than that person. That's meant to draw you to Christ and for forgiveness and restoration and holiness and all these wonderful things. If your marriage is easy, you're coasting.
Right. Yeah.
Period.
So, yeah.
Yep.
It's true what he's saying there. It's, marriage is supposed to be hard. It's almost like that lady that stitched you a while ago and says like, oh, we don't fight. I mean, that's another way of saying like my marriage isn't hard. And if you have a mentality of going into a marriage thinking this isn't going to be hard, and then when it does get hard, you're going to be like, hey, this isn't how it's supposed to be. I'm out. That's usually what happens when things get hard. People, they get out.
Yeah.
You're supposed to know it's hard, and you're supposed to come through it, because then you're better. You're just a better couple after going through something that's hard. And then if something else comes along, you'd be like, it's nothing. We've been through harder stuff.
You're basically like working out your like marriage muscle.
Yeah.
When when you're challenged by things and you have to overcome things, and
Right.
you've had to do that several times. It's like you're okay, like we're seasoned in this. We know how to handle this, and when things come at you, you're ready.
Yeah.
Like, how are you prepared if your mentality is, oh, this is going to be easy because we love each other.
Right.
Oh, this is going to be easy because we like to be around each other.
Right.
Like, yeah, that and living together and raising little tiny human beings is going to challenge your marriage.
Oh yeah.
It's going to challenge you.
Definitely will.
And like being challenged, it's only going to strengthen your marriage and work on that muscle, so you do have defense when things come up like that.
Yeah.
And you don't just give up so easily. You're not like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be like this, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean,
Your first fight, you're going to be out. You're
Yeah,
going to be
exactly.
like mortified that this person disagreed with you because he's been the yes person
Yeah.
the entire time you've dated him, and he's been the yes person. And then the first time he comes at you and says, I disagree, and I don't think we should do it like that. You're going to be like, excuse me?
right.
Like, maybe I shouldn't have married you.
Right.
Like, it's just, I mean, you're denying reality if you think that
Right, yeah.
you are going to be able to get through, because marriage is for the rest of your life. So the rest of your life, you're never going to be challenged in your marriage, and you're never going to disagree with the person that you're married to, live with, and have created little human beings with. It's not reality.
Yeah.
It's not reality. The
Yeah.
reality is that you're going to have to know how to handle certain situations. And if you haven't been in communication with your spouse and, and have, some kind of education on the matter, you're going to be blindsided.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You definitely will. And you gotta be, you gotta be ready and prepared. We didn't do this, but if there were other couples that would ask us what would we suggest for them going into a new marriage, and I would say marriage counseling, because they can give you some tools on how to handle certain conflicts, especially if you're a married couple that you're going to move in together for the first time after you get married. If you're going to move in together after you get married, you're going to start to know things about each other that you didn't know before because you didn't live together before. And, so a marriage counselor can help you prepare, give you some tools to deal with stuff like that, because conflict is going to happen.
It's going to happen. You have to, that's when like your tools that you have in communication are going to come into play.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to agree with the person that you're married to all the time. And this person in the video basically claiming that if marriage is hard, you're married to the wrong person, that is such poison garbage.
Yeah.
That's out here on the internet, and probably hundreds of thousands of people have seen that and gone, oh, okay, well then maybe I should divorce him then.
Yeah.
Like that is so harmful. And this is what we're talking about, that marriages are up against now because of social media. This is the kind of garbage that married people are seeing and going, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay, well, yeah, my marriage has been pretty hard because we've been through hard times and stuff. And like, yeah, it's been stressful. So I'm just going to divorce him.
Yeah.
Like, that's when you double down and you figure out what you need to do to save your marriage, not when you give up.
Right. I mean, hey, you think marriage is hard? Get a divorce and then see how hard things are.
I love that too.
It gets harder.
I
after
love
marriage.
that. I love that. She's basically telling people that if your marriage is not peachy keen and sunshine and rainbows all the time, that you should get a divorce because you're married to the wrong person. Like, divorce is sunshine and roses, and then your life afterwards is going to be guaranteed sunshine and roses.
Right, because
As bull.
Right, because I think is like, all right, when you say if you have a hard marriage. 1 second, I just want to. I've been looking, and over here you look fine, but up there you're still kind of blurry. So give me 1 second. It's gonna bother me the whole time. Hold on.
Editing. Oh, it is.
All right, and we're back.
Oh my God.
So yeah, it just I had to get it on the right mode. I guess I had it on the wrong mode. And yeah, I mean, the
Does this
past
look
few
better?
episodes,
Does
I
this
think
look
it's
better?
been, yeah, this is better.
It's been, I think we've had, I told you, I'm like, I feel like we have it like on a setting. Or
Yeah.
something.
So now I know what setting it's on to have it on the same setting the whole time.
All right.
All right. So going
What
back,
were we
yeah. So
saying?
yeah, I guess we'll just move on to the next one. I think we kind of pretty much said everything we needed to say for this last video. Is yeah, I mean,
Marriage is going to be hard.
Marriage is hard.
Literal fact.
Yeah, you can't.
Marriage is going to be hard.
Right.
Fact.
You can't think about leaving. You can't think about leaving when it gets hard.
Yeah,
You can't.
That's basically what that video is telling you. If it gets hard, you should leave.
Yeah.
How poison is a video like that? That, shame on that woman. Shame on you.
Yeah. I think a lot of women romanticize it.
Yeah, like it's gonna be romantic all the time and
Yeah.
love all the time, and like I said, like sunshine and roses all the time.
Look,
like, that is not reality.
Right. Yeah. Because there are romantic moments. There are moments you have where you have euphoria. You're just like, oh my God, I'm just so glad to be with this person, and you just have like so much fun. You know. I
Yeah,
mean,
and then there are times that person's gonna be on your very last nerve.
when we're in Maine and there's no kids. I mean, that's like, I look forward to that. It's like great. I have so much fun. It's like, it's me,
Yeah.
and my wife. We're just like,
You gotta understand.
You know?
Yeah, you gotta understand too that we've been parents since we were 18 and 19 years
Yeah.
old. So we've been parents since we were pretty darn young.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we never had like the newlywed stuff and like, oh, the honeymoon phase.
Well, I
Like,
mean, yeah. I mean,
you
we had the
do.
honeymoon, but
No, I'm saying like, you know, like all the wishy-washy times
Right.
that you have before you have kids, you know,
Right.
like all the like, oh, well, these are all the things that we want to do before we have kids.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
yeah,
for
we
us.
never had that.
No, we did not have
We're
that.
going to do it after the kids are gone.
Yeah, so now we're going to be like really young when the kids are all
Yeah.
grown. So that's when we're going to do the
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so, all
We
right.
did it
Well,
in reverse.
yeah. Right. All right. We're going to move on to the next video. It's a little bit different, but we'll watch it and then we'll.
The best marriages are not two people that have a silver spoon in their mouth and get married and live happily ever after. That doesn't happen. That never happens in the history of the world. The best marriages are two people that get married, they commit to each other, they roll up their sleeves, they slug it out through not with each other, but life, all through the trenches of life. And they wake up one morning as best friends. Those are the best marriages in the world.
Yeah. 100%, man. 100%.
Show me the lie in that
Yeah.
video. Like you're there because of you know, the love and the commitment that you've made to the other person, but that does not mean that you're not going to, like he said, go through the trenches.
Right.
And you're going to have to duke it out in the trenches. Like he said, not with each other, but with life in general, because
Right.
life is going to throw stuff at you that you have no clue. Like, you don't think when you're getting married and you're like all young and you're in love and you're getting married, happy, happy times. This is the person that's going to be beside you when like your parents pass away.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and like tragedy happens in your life. This is the person that's going to hold you up.
And we've had tragedy.
We've had a lot of tragedy, yeah. So, and we've definitely had things thrown at us that we never would have expected in a million years. So, if you're expecting that life is going to be one big fairy tale and it's romance all the time, you're going to be very sadly mistaken. Like it's just not reality. This does tie into the last video.
Yeah,
Like
it's about
that's not reality.
right. It's
That's-
about something happens that affects the whole family, and you were like, all right, what are we gonna do about this? How are we gonna get
Right.
through it?
Right.
You know, and it's not about oh, you messed up. This isn't how it's supposed to be. You know, it's about like, okay, this happened. We didn't expect it. We didn't want this to happen, but it happened. What do we do? How do we get through it?
Right. Right. It's it's picking a person that you can do life with.
Yeah.
And doing life is not a fairy tale.
No.
Like this is not a movie.
I'm
This
no
is
Prince Charming.
not- this is not. Yes, you are. This is not a fairy tale. Like life is going to keep happening. Things happen and life keeps rolling. And like this person next to you is going to be the one holding your hand through all of it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how you pick your lifetime spouse. This is for a lifetime. The stuff you are going to go through is completely unexpected, completely unscripted, and to think that it's all going to be sunshine is completely delusional.
Right.
You have to pick a person that always has your best interest at heart, and like
Yeah.
can take away from self and focus on them, because if that's happening, you're both taken care of. He's thinking of me, I'm thinking of him, like taken care of completely.
Yeah. And I think when things get hard, I think a woman wants a man that can be her rock and that she can lean on. And for a man, when things get hard, he needs to know that his wife got his back and that she has her support.
His support.
Yeah, that he has her support.
Got it.
That he has her support.
Right,
So
right.
that's basically it. You have that, you're good to go, man.
Unbreakable.
You're good to go.
Unbreakable. Like whatever you're going to be going through, it's not going to be able to shake your marriage.
Right. And it's easier for a man to be her rock if he knows she got his back and that she supports him in what he's doing.
Yeah.
When he knows that, he'll be her rock all day. All day.
Yeah.
So
It's a mutual thing.
yeah. So I think that's it. That's all I want to say about that. I think.
So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go on to the third video. It's kind of like on like the same thing. Yeah, it's about almost on like the same thing.
All in the same
Yeah.
realm.
So we'll listen to it and then we'll talk about it. Whoops, sorry,
that's
wrong
not
one.
it.
The best marriages are not two people that have a silver spoon.
Sorry,
Nope. We got our buttons.
but
messed up.
I'm glad we listened to that because I'm glad we listened to that again because we missed that first point that he just said.
What'd he say?
Like the best marriages aren't the people who have this silver spoon in their mouth. Like, it's like, oh, everything went good for you in your life, and then everything went good for you in your life. And now that we're going to have a life together, everything's going to be good because you come from money. I come from money. We have no financial worries. Everything's great. I think Kim Kardashian proves that that's wrong.
Kim Kardashian.
She came from money.
Yeah.
And the guy that she married came from money. Well, all the guys she married came
one?
from money. Same thing with J-Lo. She has money. All the men she married had money. You know, I know they're celebrities. We're using celebrities as
money doesn't
you know,
buy
but
happiness.
I know they have wealth. In addition to wealth, they have fame. But I'm just saying, it's just like. It's not about just you have an easy, cushy life. You're marrying someone who has an easy, cushy life. Now your life's going to be easy and cushy. No, you're still going to hit trials. You might not go through financial trials, but you can go through trials like sickness or maybe something
Any kind of tragedy.
like a court or law or something, you know what I mean? Or something legal. You know, it could be
something happens in his family or something happens in her family.
So
like you're taking these two families and you're merging them together and you've become one big family.
Yeah.
And to think that everything's going to be happy all the time is just absolutely insane. And then to just literally throw in the towel if one bad thing happens is just not good advice. You know? And like you find out what your marriage is made of when you're in the trenches.
Right, because tragedy isn't just financial.
No, there's many other things, and we've been through a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Yeah, so I'm glad I played that by accident again because we got to talk about that point.
Yeah.
So we'll go on to the
silver
next
spoon.
video, and I'm gonna press the right one this time.
Oop. Oh my God.
So it worked.
The husband is considered to be the head of the house. Now listen, we can go through a whole lot of things. We don't have time today where the Bible considers the wife as the helpmate. Dude, you need help, right? That means we're supposed to listen to our wives. Listen, the Bible says that the wife is prudent. Like she's a gift from God and she's prudent. That means that she's a wise guide. She's an expert, right? That she has great discernment and great discretion, which means, listen, we're in this thing together as a team. We're like, I need you. Renee, I need your assistance. Renee, I need your advice. Renee, I need your counsel. Renee, I need your discernment. Renee, I need you to be on the A game for our kids. Renee, I trust you, Renee. God has given you as my helper. It's not just Sean running the show. If you do that, you're out of line biblically. But husbands are the lead of the home. We are the accountable spiritual leader of the house. But it doesn't mean that the wife is down here. It doesn't mean that we never seek her counsel, because then you're walking as a fool and not one who's wise, because the Bible says that your wife is an expert. She is a wise guide. She has great discernment and discretion. She will see things in your kids before you see things. She will see things in your life before you see things. There'll be times and moments and seasons of life that she will identify, and you need to just be saying, okay, I don't see it that way, but in this I trust you in that because you're prudent. So let's just clear the table right there. Equal value, equal worth, different roles, and the husband is called.
Mm-hmm.
See, I like
Equal
what he
value, equal
yeah.
worth.
I see. I like what he
Different
says
roles.
that yeah, we're different roles. So we're not equal. We're not equal in the sense we do the same thing, but we have equal value, equal worth. Where she's just as valuable as I am, because my kids need her just as much as they need me, because there are things that she can give to the kids that I can't. Now, the thing about leading the house, I mean, I explained this in a previous video before, you know, like always says she is the wise counsel, because there are things she sees that I don't see. Like I explained before, when we bought this house, there were things she was seeing that I didn't see, which helps me make the final decision. You know what I mean? So if, like, you know, for example, if I'm like, hey, we're going to go down this road and then we're going to take a left and a right and then we're going to get there in 5 minutes. But if she's like, well, I've been here and there was a way, if you go left and then left again and then right, we'll get there quicker. All right. I know logically that makes no sense, but I'm just saying an example. But if she's like, I've been here before, let's go this way, then I'll be like, Oh, yeah. Okay, then we'll go this way and we get there quicker. She's not telling me what to do. She's just telling me, hey, look, I've been here before. Here's a different way. I'm driving the car, so I'm leading. But because she sees something I didn't see, it helped me get the family get there quicker. You know, I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to get at. Is that sometimes because our women's brain work different than us. Men are mostly like this, and women are like
Tunnel vision, and we've got,
you know.
yeah.
The only thing, I think the only time a woman might have tunnel vision is maybe if like we're at a beach or in an amusement park where she's just like focused on the kids, having fun, where men are like, what's going on out here? What's this guy doing? All right, okay, that's cool. That guy looking this way at my kid? No, okay. What's this? Who's this guy? You know, like that's the only time where men are not tunnel vision.
Men are all over the place.
You know, but that's just another. But I'm just making fun. But yeah, so yeah, it meant, you know, women are. I mean, it is biblical. It says it in the Bible that women are the helpmate. I mean, when God created Eve, He says, "I want to create Adam a helper." Right, and it's a helpmate, and it's. And exactly what he says. It does not mean.
That
it does
I'm
not.
beneath.
Does not mean she's. Yeah. It's not
Less
mean that she's
valuable
less.
or less important.
It means it's like, you know
There's
what.
roles.
You know what. Like man cannot. It's. He says it's not. First, he said it is not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helpmate. It's not good for a man to live life alone. I know the red pill is saying it's better to be alone than to be with a woman. But the Bible does say it is better to be alone than it's better to be in a corner of your house than to live with a quarrelsome wife. But that doesn't mean it's good for a man to just be alone. We need a helpmate.
Find the right woman.
Right. We need a helpmate. We need a woman. We need a woman in our lives to kind of help us be on the straight and narrow.
Someone has to be the final decision.
Right.
So if you've got two people in a marriage that both think that they're the head of the household, what do you think's going to happen?
Divorce.
You're going to butt heads. There's going to be a struggle for authority all the time.
Yeah.
Somebody has to be the final decision. He is the head of the household, but he does not make any decisions without me, without my input. But then he is the final say. You know, like society views this issue so warped.
Yeah, I think, when people are, Christians can do it too, but mostly a lot of people who are not Christian, who not read the Bible, they might misinterpret something and make it seem like, oh, the men, Christian men, rule over their wives. It's like, nah, we don't. We definitely don't.
No,
it's because it's not biblical, and God would not want us to do that to us. God loves his daughters and loves the women because he created them. He created Eve, and we are living in a life of sin. The fall did happen. So there are, women and men are different, and there are certain things that we do that probably would not be pleasing to God, but God gave us the blueprint in the Bible on how marriage should be. And this is how he created us, because there is order. There needs to be order in a family for a family to function and work correctly. And because that works, that is why he created men to be the leaders and women to be the helpmate. He made men more harder and the disciplinarian, and women are more of they're softer and
nurturing.
They're the more the comforter. That's why, that's why when the kids are little and they get hurt, who do they want? Mommy. Because she's more of the comforter. They're not going to get that from dad. Can dads be the comforter? Yes. But they get that. Kids sense that more from their mom. I know I could, like I went mountain biking with my daughter, and she took a spill and got the wind knocked out of her, and I was there and I comforted her and I was with her. But I know if my wife was there, she'd want her.
Yeah.
She'd want to go
If it
where
calls for it, he does it. I mean, what did they say? Like when kids are younger, they need their mom.
Yeah.
Because when you're children, you need to be, nurtured by your mother and cared for and
Right.
shown love. And that is not to say that the father doesn't show children love and
Right.
and nurturing or whatever. But then when they grow up and they get older, they need the father for direction, discipline, and I don't know what other word, but like they need you because now they're older. They're in a different part of their life,
Right.
where they need
Guidance.
where they need a different kind of parenting.
Yeah.
They need the mother when they're younger. That's the kind of parenting that they need. And when they get older, they need the father because
Right.
that's the kind of parenting they need as they get older, to be, healthy adults, to grow
Right.
up into being healthy adults.
Yeah.
And then like another issue in society is, the word submission.
Right.
And society views it as the man gets to control the woman, and
Right.
that is not it. What they're saying is that you submit to his leadership because he submits to God.
Right, which is crazy because I think I've talked about this before. Because feminism teaches women it's better to be submissive to your male boss than it is to be your husband at home.
How twisted is that?
Yeah, what if the boss isn't a man? What if he's a woman? Okay,
well, you're
it's better
submissive to
to
her.
be submissive to a woman than it is to your husband. Either way, your boss, male or female, does not care for you as much as your husband would.
Mm-hmm.
Your husband would risk his life for you. Would your boss do that? Pfft, no.
Yeah. And the thing about submission is that you don't submit to just anyone. That's
Yeah.
why it's important to have, like that you're dating for a purpose. You're trying to find your husband. And who you end up with is extremely important. It's one of the most important decisions you're ever going to make as a woman about to be a wife. He needs to be worthy of your submission.
Right. Yeah.
You trust him. You trust his leadership. You trust his guidance. You trust his final word, that you will be able to put hard decisions on his shoulders and he'll make the right one for the whole family, for your children, for your life. And so like these decisions of like who you end up with, it shouldn't just be because he's hot.
Yeah.
You first off, if you're married, you're going to grow old together. So maybe one day he isn't going to be so hot. So then what happens then?
Yeah, I'm not so hot anymore.
No,
She's still with me.
Stop it. Ugh, stop it. He's cute. Anyways. So, like it's like your checklist. It shouldn't be all physical things. You should care about his character, his goals. Is he goal oriented? Is his leadership skills, his decision making skills?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Because we've scrolled through TikTok, and I've watched these videos from the Whatever podcast and the Fresh and Fit podcast, these Red Pill podcasts. And they have women on there, and when they talk about the kind of men they want, it's all like outer stuff, nothing inner. It's all he has to be 6 feet, he has to be in the best shape of his life, he has to make 6 figures, all of that stuff.
Nothing about his integrity.
Yeah,
is he a good person?
Nothing about his character. Like, is he a good dude? Does he like family?
Yeah, is he a
he
family
respectful?
guy? Yep. Mm-hmm.
How does he treat women? Nothing like that. And then they end up with a Chad, and they're like, oh my God, all men are horrible. It's because the men you are choosing are horrible.
You picked the wrong one.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why it's always good to look. Obviously, physical attraction is obviously going to be the first thing you look at, and you'll be like, okay,
well, clearly
I'm attracted to this person.
I feel like, should you be attracted to your husband or wife?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously, you should, but that shouldn't be your priority list.
Yeah, and
like that's all that matters. That's it. If
Right.
they're hot, we're good, we're dating, and if
Right.
he asks me to marry him, I'm doing it. Like it needs to be way more in depth than that.
Right.
It is so important that you marry a guy who is going to be able to lead your family into good decisions.
Right.
You know, like good decisions are going to build your future as a family. And not that there aren't going to be mistakes and, you know, like there was, you know, definitely times that like, you know, like times weren't so great, you know,
Yeah.
but like we were saying before, when you're in the trenches, that's when your marriage is going to be challenged the most.
Yeah, and
you know, you have to fight for your marriage.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you definitely have to. And I mean, we've said this before in a previous episode. Is it's rating systems got to go. If you're attracted to the person, you're attracted to them. This whole thing always.
Oh, he's a 7.
I'll only date.
He's a 9.
I'll only date 10s, or I'm a 10.
I'm a 10, so
You know,
I date 10s.
I'm a 10. This person's a 5. I'm not gonna date them. It's so dumb.
It's like embedded.
If you're attracted to them,
like
you're attracted to
embedded
them.
in people's brains now. They're
Yeah.
like, oh no, he's not. I'm
Look,
a 10 and he's not.
I've seen, you know, a woman that could be a 9 or a 10 dating a guy that's a 5, and vice versa.
I mean, we've all seen it.
They're attracted to each other. That's all. Look, I remember there was this post, this couple, they were doing like this funny dance video on TikTok. This guy was in amazing shape, right? And his wife was overweight. And the comments were horrible. I mean, you don't know them. She could have just had a bunch of kids, and this is just the baby weight. Or maybe, you know, she's trying to lose weight, and
I know who you're
it's just
talking
getting
about,
hard.
and she used to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah. So it's really, I mean, you can't. Look, I don't know. Look, I would doubt it if he's here eating high protein diet and or, you know, have a lot of physical activities, and she's just sitting at home stuffing her face with cake. Kind of doubt that's happening. That's, I mean, physical appearance aside, people like that wouldn't click. One person who eats healthy, likes physical activities, and a person who is lazy and just stuffs their face with cake. Like, those people wouldn't really have anything in common and wouldn't really be interested in each other. So I kind of doubt that's happening. But hey, I'm like, these two looked happy. They looked happy, and that's what's important. And so this rating system, it's got to go.
It's got to
Just
go.
if you're attracted to them, that's all that matters. That's all and then get to know this person and see if this person is a good person that you could see you spending the rest of your life with. You know, and that's it.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like when you're, I see way too much of it now, where it's just physical features that all these girls care about, and when he turns out to be a jerk, they're like, all men are horrible.
Right.
No, man, you just keep picking the same guy over and over and over again because your checklist is completely screwed up. Like, yes, should you be attracted to them? Like, when you see them, you're like, oh, they're good looking. But should your checklist be all physical things that decides if you're going to start a relationship with this person or not? That should be like, okay, what first attracted you to this person? And then, like, that gets put aside, and now you're figuring out if you actually like the person.
Yeah.
The person.
Yeah.
Not the flesh, the person.
Yeah, so and I was listening to this person talking, and I totally agree with what she said. This is what she's heard from a lot of guys, and I know I haven't really dated, but I've said this about you, and it's true, because when I say this, it's because I feel different. It's just a certain way I feel. It's like when a man says a girl is hot, that's not the type of girl he probably wants to take home, right? But when he says this girl is cute, yeah, that's the type of woman he wants to bring home and marry. And it's so true, because a guy could say like, yo, that girl's hot, but like a lot of times when a guy hear that girl's hot, is like, okay, she probably also is a diva and has a bad attitude. Where a girl that's cute is like, she's soft, she's nice, she's pleasant. And that's what guys think when they hear their girl cute. When they say cute, when they think of a girl cute, that's what they're thinking. When they say this girl is cute, that's what they're thinking. But with girls, they're thinking, oh, he thinks I'm like a little puppy. No, I mean, just like a puppy, he wants to take you home, but he wants to take you home to marry you. You know, take you home, meet his mom and his dad.
Yeah, there's a difference between like a guy that sees a type of woman, but like what attracts him to her is just like oh, she's hot, and like it does he see wifey? Mm-hmm. You know, like unfortunately he's probably thinking something else.
Yeah, it's just physical.
You know, so it's like
most likely
when they see someone who seems to respect themselves, you know, then they're going to think a little bit more respectful of her.
Right.
And she's more going to be the person that he's thinking like, oh, I want to date her.
Right.
Not I want to sleep with her.
Right. Yeah.
You know, there's a difference there.
There
like
is.
when a guy is like, he sees you, but like what he wants to do is just sleep with you. But he sees this girl and he's thinking, you know, like, oh, I'd like to go on a date with her. Like there's the difference there. Like one he sees as wifey and one he just sees as hot.
Yeah.
So when a guy is attracted to you, it doesn't always necessarily mean that he would actually ever make you his wife.
Right.
You know, so I mean, it's unfortunate, you know, because like girls dress a certain way to attract men. We cannot deny that, especially when you're way younger, like when you're younger, like a young adult or an older, you know, teenager maybe or whatever. You're dressing a certain way to attract the opposite sex. That's what you are doing. Hands down, this is a fact. Okay, but you're attracting the wrong kind of attention, is what I'm trying to get at here.
Right.
They're not going to look at you and think, oh, there's wifey.
Right.
No.
They're not.
Probably not. Probably not.
No, like a man would, you know, a man would probably go for a girl that wears a nice, pretty sundress versus a woman that's.
Oh, that's why the guys love the sundress.
Yeah,
have we seen cute, that all over social media?
Cute.
They love the sundress. Yeah,
versus a woman that's wearing something that's like very provocative, kind of shows a lot, you know.
You can get mad at what we're saying all you want. I mean, these are
guys are protective because guys want. Believe me, men are more attracted to pretty modest women than, you know, a pretty girl that doesn't leave much to the imagination. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But a girl that's pretty and modest, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's the way to go for a lot of guys.
That's probably wifey right there.
Right, yeah. So
that's just
a little bit of wisdom from two married couples that's never dated.
I mean, but it's like, come on. Like you're not dressed respectfully, but you think guys are going to respect you. Yeah. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, guys aren't going to the club and going, I hope I find my wife tonight.
Right. And then it's like, like you really think you're going to, I mean, and maybe does it happen where people like, oh, well, we first met at a club or we first met at a bar.
I don't know anybody.
We first met at a bar or something like that.
I don't know anybody.
Well, my parents met at
Oh
a bar.
yeah. Well, I mean, they were. I was a different. There was a
But
different time.
my dad was literally protecting my mom. They were at the bar, and my dad was literally protecting my mom because there was like a sleazy guy there that
There you go.
that wouldn't leave her alone.
She-
And my dad was like the knight in shining armor
Yeah,
that
that's
came and like
exactly what I was gonna say.
like rescued my mom, and like literally even made sure that she got home safe that night. So sure, you can meet at a bar.
yeah.
But like
But that was a different time. I think
those
now
were way different
yeah,
times.
I think now it's a little different. All right, so we're gonna get onto this Reddit story. It's a pretty good one. I read half of it because I was like, you know what, I read through half of it, and I'm like, you know what, I wanna kind of read through it with you on it because I just,
good
yeah.
Surprises.
Yeah. So here we go.
Here we go. Press the thing.
Oh, right, wrong.
Wrong.
That one right there. All right. Wife 33 female and I 33 male having one-sided financial relationship after winning $1 million.
Ooh, to have your problems.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I had this issue.
So here we go. So we were engaged to get married. Then she won $1 million through the state lottery.
Wow.
After taxes, it ended up being roughly around $600,000.
Wow, robbery.
We used the money to buy a duplex and live on one side and rent out the other. All right, investing in property right there.
Yep.
Before the wedding, she got fired from her work as a restaurant manager. Fast forward 2.5 years later, and she still isn't working. What is bothering me the most is that she's living semi-retired, just doing part-time school for massage therapy while I work full-time in healthcare. Before we got married, she worked hard to bring money in too. We both worked in restaurants, and I studied on the side to get a degree to help move career fields. She lives comfortably and just uses the money from the tenant and our savings to pay her debt, but I can barely keep up with the monthly bills working full time. In my job and managing the expenses of the other side of the duplex. We don't have kids, and she spends a majority of her day playing video games and being a dog mom.
I can't imagine.
Playing video games. Usually that's
I don't
the guy.
understand. So who's taking care of the house? I don't quite understand. Both need to be doing your parts.
So they're asking, has anyone gone through this in your first years of marriage where your partner just relies on you for all the finances and is okay with not doing anything to help provide an income? What do you guys do to help the situation?
Okay, that question is like, that's what we're doing. I don't make an income, and he makes all the income for all of us, our entire household, and pays all of our bills. So that's not the problem. The problem is, if I sat around here all day and played video games, would you think of me differently?
Well, yeah, if you were doing it all day, yeah. All day, every day, yeah.
I can't even imagine playing it for. I can't fit everything in. Like I'm taking care of like an entire house here, so I'm not understanding how she can play video games all day and like what is the laundry not piling up? Are there dishes not in the sink? Like I'm saying, like there are parts that need to be played here. Like he's working, but you also have the income. I mean, he says that like he's having issues like paying the bills, right?
Yeah, so
But it's like, okay, you're working plus you have the income from the other duplex.
right.
And unless you're literally like falling behind on bills, the lights are getting turned off, you don't have heat, you know what I'm saying? Like it seems like they might be getting along a little bit better than he thinks they are without her income. But like she needs to be doing her part. If she is home, this dude should have a homemade meal in front of his face when he walks home. Sorry, that's how I function. I know that that's how a lot of stay-at-home moms would function. And then some stay-at-home moms or wives would completely disagree with me that the husband should come home and make his own darn meal, which I don't agree with, and I don't care who's mad about it. I really don't care. I do not understand a wife that can know that her husband is out. Now, my husband has a physical job. He's like in basements, attics, roofs, ladders. Like, he's got a physical job, like, all day. He works 50 plus hours a week. Plus he does side jobs. So for him to walk in this house after working all day and not have a meal for him, I think is just insane. I think it's wrong. And she's not doing her part. The part about like her, but another thing is they clearly did not talk about this. Like,
that's where I was gonna get at. Yeah,
if she could ever be a stay-at-home wife, if they have kids, stay-at-home mom, like what was in store for their future? What would he think if she were to stay home? He clearly doesn't like the idea, and that's just how what slid into their life was her staying home. And it was never talked about. It was never agreed upon. And he thinks that she should be making an income. I disagree with that, but I do not understand a woman who can be home. You own this building. You have zero pride in it. You don't take care of it. You don't make sure that you're doing your part within your relationship with this man. He's working all day. You want to be home. You're not working. This is what you have literally decided. So why are you not doing your part? Why are you not making sure the house is taken care of, errands are run, things are done, and that there is order in the house?
right.
I don't understand. Maybe it's just the person I am. I could never lay around here all day. If I have a day where like I don't feel good, and I'll text you and be like, I'm literally taking a sick day. And like I'm like maybe like on the couch. Even those days, like I'm sick with like the flu and I'm doing laundry, I'm still doing the dishes, and like I've like figured out dinner for that night. It might not be that like I stood there and made something, but like a meal is going to be figured out. I could never not feed my family,
Right.
you know, like it's
Yeah.
gonna get figured out. I just like we were saying, there needs to be order in your home. And they don't have kids, but him and her, that's the family right now. That's their family unit, and there needs to be order in the family, and she is not contributing to that order, but he is.
I mean, it's a good thing they don't have kids because it would be a bigger mess.
It would be way worse. And plus, it seemed she probably would want to pay for daycare. Like, she wouldn't want the kids at home, then she would have to take care of them.
Right.
So now they're going to have to pay for daycare, but she also doesn't work. Like,
I think what I think is, first of all, like, obviously the lottery money was her money. Mm-hmm. I think they're married now, so everything is together. But when she won it, they were still planning to get married. She knew that they were going to get married. Mm-hmm. And although I don't know how much this house cost, but it seemed like she should have paid off her debt first.
yeah.
And then whatever money left over, maybe put down payment on a
Down
house.
payment, yeah.
But what I think is that when you come into, it doesn't matter if you're married, gonna get married, if you're single. If you come into a lot of money like that, you need to talk to a financial advisor.
Yeah.
Like, what are my options? He could be like, you know what, you can do this, and then this will happen, or you can do this will happen, or this and this will happen. And then you can make a decision from there.
Well, I would think it would be
But I think
extremely
she just,
important
I think
for
they
you
were,
guys to be on the same page.
but I think it was like, hey, let's buy this house. It's a duplex, and then we can make money off of it. Well, all right, let's do that. But then she has all this debt, and she stopped working, right? So it seems like everybody's making decision without the other. with the other
Yeah.
person.
It's almost like she thinks
So
she has more money than they really do.
Right. There's
like
no.
after buying the house.
He did. Yeah, he didn't say if there was any. I mean, I think he says with the lottery money. So there must have been her part-time jobs and the lottery money. So there seems like there was some money left over, but it seems like all this money is being mismanaged. You know, and if you know, and if they're making money from the rent, that should pay the mortgage. So I don't know how he's behind on bills. So it seems like they're both. Did he say
the mortgage? Did he say he was behind on the mortgage?
No, he just said bills. But I think there's no communication at all. Nobody's on the same page.
Since the get-go.
Nobody's on the same page here.
No.
Everybody's making separate decisions without considering the other. The both parts. I know she's home and she's being a lazy butt, you know, which she shouldn't. But on his part too, it seems like there's no communication. And the reason why I know this is because he went on Reddit.
Yeah, he's like, help me.
Yeah, he went on Reddit.
Help me.
If he didn't go on Reddit, and I would assume he's trying to work it out with her. So instead of going on Reddit and tell your story, so us people here on the podcast can have good content, you should just work it out with your wife, your newlywed wife, your new wife, and you're starting off your marriage a mess because both of you don't know how to handle lottery winnings.
Yeah, well,
that's what it comes down to.
They're both already separate.
Yeah,
you see what happens when like things start to happen within a marriage that put like separation barriers within that marriage.
Yeah,
like you get further and further and further and further apart.
Yeah,
it's just what's going to happen. And then what do you think is at the end of that?
Irreconcilable differences is why they got divorced.
Yeah, differences.
But yeah, I think with that, he needs to sit down with her and be like, look, this is killing me right now.
He needs to be the head of the household.
I want to support you. I want, if you don't want to work, fine. But I'm drowning here and I'm scared that we might lose this place because I can't do it on my own. So it's either they need to sit down and be like, can it work with just his income? They need to look at the numbers and be like, can all this work? If they have any money left from the lottery winnings,
do some math.
Like, can this work with what we have left over from the lottery and with my income? Can this work? And if it can, then you both got to work together to make it work. If it can't, then you got to figure out what to do to make it work.
Each person plays a part in making it work.
So nobody I think he would need to just sit down with her and talk to her calmly and not be like, listen, you're not working. So that's probably what he's doing. He's probably going, you're not working and I can't do this. It's like, you can't. Then she'll be on the defense right away. So I think they just need to sit down, have a conversation, and just really figure out what they need to do to make this work.
He needs to
because it's a mess.
Yeah, he needs to be the head of the household.
Yeah.
There's a blurred line there,
right,
as to who is the head of the household, who makes final decisions, because somebody has to. There has to be one person that makes the final decision, and people are like, well, why can't both people make the decision? Okay. If you're having a conversation about something and this one says this and this one says this, who goes, this is what we're doing? Like,
well, I think
there has to be one person. People are always like, well, why can't they both make the final decision? 'Cause that's not possible.
Well, he needs
not possible.
He needs to start making the decision by sitting down and talking and be like, listen,
communication first.
We gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
That's how he has to start. Before he starts leading and being the final decision on anything else, he needs to lead with, we need to figure this out because this isn't working. And we need to figure this out together. Mm-hmm. So if he leads with that, and then she could be like, okay, something's going on. My husband needs my help. What can I do?
See, and that would be the beginnings of him leading.
Yeah, and
being the actual person to say, hey,
Right.
we need to sit down a second and we need to start talking about some stuff.
right. And instead of saying because of you doing this and because of you doing that, I'm doing this. No, he would need to be like, listen, this is getting hard for me because this needs to be paid, and I can't pay it with the way we are doing things right now. If they're married, he has to say we. All right. He can't be like, because you keep spending all this money on this, and this. Look, she's your wife. You are one. It's we. So you have to be like, because the way we are doing things, it's not working. We need to figure out a new way to do this.
Because if you say you, she's going to automatically be on the defense.
Right.
And when you come together as a married couple to have this kind of discussion, you should be coming to the table thinking, I'm here to find out what I can do to help the situation. If you're both thinking that, then it's going to get resolved. But if you're both going to the table thinking, I'm here to have this discussion because he needs to find out that he's wrong.
Right.
Or she needs to find out that she's wrong.
Yeah.
And then what we need to do because she's wrong. Like, it's just
It's not a good way.
It's not going to get solved. Everybody's going to get mad and they're going to leave the table and nothing has been fixed.
Yeah, whenever
So-
there's something wrong in your marriage, you always have to think, what can we do to fix this?
Right.
You know, if
Not what can he do
You
to
know,
fix himself.
yeah, if it's always one person nagging the other, or if it's always one person doing something that irritates you, you have to come together like that. Be like, what can we do to fix this? You know, that's how it gets. Because if you say that, you will work together. Because if you're saying the other person is the problem, then it's not a we thing. It's like, all right, I'm gonna sit back and wait for you to fix whatever you have to do to make me happy. I'm just gonna sit back and wait.
Yeah.
Not realizing that the other person, your spouse, is thinking the same thing about you. You're doing
so
this.
Yeah, that's how nothing gets resolved. That's
so
why
all
I'm
it
saying
has to be, we got to fix this.
Yeah, when you come to the table, it's we, or you come to the table thinking, I'm here to figure out what I can do to fix the situation.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
Right.
You know, like, not like I'm here because he needs to finally see that this is all his fault.
Yeah.
And then he's thinking the same thing about you. So how do you resolve that? There is no resolving that. So
in this world of pronouns, I would say that's the only time you should use the correct pronoun.
see,
Is when you're talking
that's
about
English right there.
marriage,
That's language.
you say we.
We.
When you're married, you say we. You don't say I or me. We say we. That's the only time the correct pronoun should matter. Okay.
See, and that's going to be hard for somebody who's a selfish person.
Yeah.
You know, because when you're a selfish person, you can't point the finger at yourself because you don't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So when you come to a situation like this, you know, like a round table situation where you have to sit something and figure something out, you're automatically thinking, it's not me. I don't do anything wrong. It's him. And then if he's thinking the same thing, right away, you're this. So.
Yeah. We've known married couples. We've known married couples who are like, it's not wrong with me. It's him. Or it's not wrong with me. It's her.
I don't need therapy. He does.
Yeah. And
I'm not the problem. He is. He needs therapy.
And a couple that we've met are in, a really high position, and a position that you wouldn't think a couple like this would be like that. But so it's sad. It's sad. All right, so I think that's what we have for today, guys. I think we kind of went through a little bit rapidly because I think a lot of this stuff we kind of talked before, but it's just different videos that we kind of wanted to react to.
Well, I think a lot of videos, because we're going to do a lot of videos that have to do with marriage and relationships, and some of it is like dating. So they all kind of intertwine anyways.
Right.
So you might hear like the same like thoughts that we have on a matter, and like it sounds like the same thoughts we had from the last video.
Right.
But it's like it's because it all intertwines.
Yeah,
and
it is.
we just feel that a lot of the issues kind of boil down to literally just a couple of things.
And there's a million
You know?
scenarios out there we could talk about. I mean, this was a good one with the Reddit story where they came into money right before they got married. You know, and now here's look, they probably would have even had this issue if neither of them won the lottery. They probably wouldn't even have this issue. She would have been working, he would have been working, and they would have been working towards their future. You know, but then money comes in. Look, it's hard to go to a 9-to-5 job when you won the lottery. Believe me, I know. I'm not.
You won the lottery and didn't tell me?
I meant to say, I understand. I understand. Believe me, I understand.
She's like, I won the lottery. Why am I working?
Yeah, because if I won the lottery.
But, yeah, and if we're talking about, because like we've talked about one incomes before and that like it's possible. So if she wants to stay home, they can probably do it. They just need to budget.
Right. And she needs to help her husband make that happen.
Right.
Whether it's, you know, maybe not spending as much money.
Yeah.
Or helping him with the finances. Okay, what are we putting in the savings this week? How much can we put? Oh, we paid the bills. How much can we pour towards my debt? You know, so
yeah, that's
it's
what
just
I'm
communication.
saying. It seems like they probably would be able to, seeing as though they've been doing it and they haven't lost the house. I don't know if the lights have ever been turned off before, but like maybe it is possible. They just need to come together as a unit and be on the same page and have some discussions and have some communication and figure some things out. And maybe it can be figured out that she can stay home. She doesn't really have to work, but they have to cut this, and this. And she needs to start helping at home, period.
I know if like right before we got married, if you won the lottery, I know you probably be like, I ain't working.
Oh, are you kidding me? Well, first off, we already had kids.
Yeah.
And like, oh my God, I dreamed of being able to stay home with my girls. You got to remember, like, I work full time with 3 kids. Like, I've done both. Yeah. I've done both. And I used to see like other like stay at home moms and like, they get to go on vacation and like they have these beautiful houses and like they only have the one income, and I'd be like, how are you doing that? Yeah. I have a college degree and like, you know, he was working in an office and like we both work full time and like how are you doing this? How? And then like we figured it out.
Yeah.
So
learning a skill.
Yeah, know a trade.
Be good at it. Just a skill. I mean, I'm in the trade, so trade obviously, but a skill. Doesn't have to be a skill in the trade, but a skill.
When you know a skill, you're valuable.
If
you can get a license or a certification in that skill or in that trade, you're even more valuable.
If you're only doing something that anybody off the street can do.
Or you're doing it without a license or a certification, you're going to make
doing it right.
Yeah, you're going to make more money if you have a license or certification to do that thing. So, anyways,
learn a skill. It's not all about being it's not all about being an entrepreneur.
Having your own business.
Yeah, it's not all about that. Look, you can learn a skill and then be an entrepreneur with your skill. Yeah, you can. Or run your own business. I mean, you know, which is pretty much being an entrepreneur. But yeah, I would learn the skill first. I know this is going a little bit off.
Yeah, we're going a little bit off, but
I would look to me. It's with the skill that I have, I can do many different things. I can work for somebody. I can run my own business, which I have. I can start a YouTube video or YouTube channel talking about my skill.
Yeah, the knowledge that he has. Yeah,
I can even teach, which I've done for a little bit. I did for a little bit. You know, so there's so many things that I could do with the skill that I have. So if you have a skill and you become one of the really, really good at it, it can make you a lot of money.
You want to talk about an essential worker.
Yeah.
Learn a trade.
You can make a lot of
Your
money
jobs
by learning
can't
a
get
skill.
shipped overseas.
Yeah. So whether it be in a trade, where it could be computer programming, cybersecurity, ton of money in that. You know, just learn. That's the best thing. Learn a skill.
A skill. Yeah.
Learn a skill.
That's our advice.
You can make great money at it, and then you can have your wife stay home.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's much more to that scenario, but that's part of it.
Right.
That was part of our story.
Yeah.
You know, like you knew that you had to make more money in order for me to stay home. So you were like, let me learn a trade.
Yeah.
And then become licensed in that trade. And it completely changed our lives.
Yeah.
So literally completely changed our lives.
All right. All right, and that's it for today. All right, so
I
follow.
think he's tired. It was date night.
It's like
we have to get all dressed up.
Right now, on this Saturday night, it's almost 11. You know, I worked today, and then we went out. Then I had to go get more wood because we ran out of wood, and then we went out on a date.
First year heating the house with wood. We're learning.
And then we went out on a date, and then
came home and set up for this.
Yeah.
So
it's been a long day.
He's tired.
So follow us on Instagram and on TikTok.
Tina and Anderson on Instagram.
Well, yeah, and follow our joint account on
Tina
Instagram.
and Anderson.
So Tina's back on TikTok and posting, so which is good. The algorithm on TikTok is way better on Instagram. They changed the algorithm on Instagram, and our views.
Oh, you said it was way better on Instagram.
No, the algorithm on TikTok is way better than on Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
You know, and they changed the algorithm on Instagram, and our views tanked.
It's been absolutely horrible since they changed whatever they changed with the algorithm. And from what we were hearing, it was supposed to make things like better.
Yeah.
And I'm not understanding.
Not for us.
We're just like a small account. So I'm wondering what happened to like these huge accounts. They're probably seeing stuff too. Like, whoa, what happened?
I don't know. Maybe. But
yeah, it's like really bad.
Hey, but we're still a blip. We're blip in the YouTube
tiny.
world and the TikTok world and Instagram world. We're just a blip. And we're just trying to grow.
Your likes, comments, and shares.
Yes.
And then please check us
if
out
you
on
see
YouTube.
if you're watching this, look at some of our YouTube shorts also and comment on that. Hit a like. Go on, follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and definitely comment on this video. Let us know what you think about one of these videos we watched in the Reddit story. And like I said before, if there's a topic that you guys want us to talk about within marriage and family type of thing, then let us know, and we'll talk, or an article if there's some article you want us to go over.
You come across a video or something.
Let us know. We really appreciate it. So subscribe, hit the like button and the notification bell, right? And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.